Pardon me, guys. I just pulled a Weebo. uh, I I was attempting to take a sip of my wine and accidentally knocked it within my hands, and it's such a full glass that of course it's gonna spill on me. So, yay me. And it's still moist. Let me just dry this off a little bit. Ah, fuck. Give me 1 sec. Ah! Ah! Got him. Always keep some tissues next to your bed space, ladies and gents. For one reason or another, you might need them in the future. Oh boy. I love it when things start off disastrous, because that means that they can only go up from there, you know? How are we? Are we doing spiffingly? Are we having a fun week? I recognize that probably not in most cases. In some cases, at the very least. But you know what? That's okay. The world may be burning, but we are still smiling, ladies and gentlemen. When did Weebo become a gamer girl? Well, Lion Patriot, to be quite frank, I've always been a gamer. From my wee little days playing my little Nintendo DS and 64 and Game Boy and my Leapfrog especially, I have had a distinct love of video gaming. Just never any time to actually pursue it as I grew older in my years, unfortunately. But now that I am without classes and jobless at the same time, I find that I can suddenly begin to dive into this identity of gamer girl, I guess. So, we will see if the moniker fits still. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this is actually the microphone that works or if it's this one. Did you hear this or did you hear this more? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Speaking of game nights, this Monday about 8 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time, we will be doing game night in the Discord. Fuck. I'm not drunk yet, I swear. I literally just started drinking. It just spilled all over me, so I must be inhaling the fumes and getting intoxicated through, I think it's osmosis is the process. I'm not a science major. I'm a computer science major. It's very different. Oh, let's go this direction. Hi, Polly.
It's not osmosis.
Not osmosis. So what is it? Moses Jones.
Getting drunk on alcohol vapor in the air? Is that what you're describing?
Mm-hmm. That's not osmosis? What is that?
No, that's just inhaling.
Oh.
It's making it into the bloodstream through the alveoli in your lungs. So it's inhaling alcohol. Don't do that.
Well, I can't help it. I spilled it all over myself right before we went live.
Did you really?
I did. That is
a terrible use for alcohol.
I know.
So speaking of alcohol and wastes and things of that sort, did I tell you that I'm going to make my own heart sparkling cider?
Oh my gosh, I love doing that. Even accidentally.
That's accidentally. It's called Pruno. What do you
Did I ever tell you of the time that I accidentally fermented apple juice and brought it to school?
No. What grade was this in?
This was senior year of high school.
Okay. I thought maybe you did this when you were like in grade 7, and I thought you had like a very serious problem. You know.
Excuse you, Polly. All right, I wasn't an alcoholic until I entered college. No, but to round out the announcement that I was making, the Discord link is in the description, as well as mine, and all of Polly's links are in the description. In particular, you should totally join the Discord because we're going to have game nights on Monday. Well, not every Monday, but like on this Monday. And then I aim to... What, are you flashing me?
I was just going to see if you could continue with your shill while I was trying to cause you an epileptic seizure. Go on.
Polly,
You were
we are
saying.
live.
Lively. I hear you.
Oh, very much so. And then, oh, yes. And then Wednesday, I'm aiming to have a movie night. Right now, the decision is down to a few. Let me just go on over there. The movie watch decision is down to between, let's see, the highest thing is Plan 9 from Outer Space. No, I'm sorry. Sweeney Todd is the very highest vote. Then it's Plan 9 from Outer Space. And then number 5, or number 4, which is Godzilla versus Hedorah. Those are the top 3 movies right now. And thank you from Bencalo, the Driving 8 Man, for the donation. So, Polly is now standing in Audidarity with BLM. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I love that face. That's my favorite face that I've ever made.
Well, it's Weebo wearing hats night. So there, I got that picture.
That's why you have that picture? That's specifically why you have that picture?
No, not at all. I have that picture because you made that face.
Okay. But it's
you know,
not
I've got
first.
a whole folder of Weebo faces, right?
Yeah, you and Lion Patriot both do. And then there's an entire Discord channel dedicated to my funny faces. So you're
Actually,
not special.
I have a cocktail hour folder, and I've only got 3 faces you've made in there. The one where you're blow jobbing the long neck beer bottle, this one, and one you're extremely happy and excited, but it looks like you've got a manic "I'm about to kill you" face. So I grabbed that one too.
I'm actually curious. What does that one look like? What's the manic "I'm about to kill you" face? I'm
wide
curious.
open eyes and a really bright and a really big smile. That's all.
Like this?
Yes, something along those lines. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yes. Good. Oh gosh.
So hold on, I'm just opening up all my folder is here so we can.
Oh, Lion Patriot's gonna go ahead and DM you more. DM you more. Fuck, I swear to God, I'm not drunk yet. The inhaling of the alcohol is just getting to me. Apparently,
I'm trying to get chat open here so I can converse with the chattants.
Yeah,
they're chattants.
The chattants.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
No, I decided
33 watching. Oh my God, link your friends. What the hell? This is the hottest show in town. What's going on?
Actually, mine says 35. Excuse you.
All right, 35. That's cool.
So, how is everybody in the chat? Let me know in the chat. And Polly, how are you today? Are you doing all right? I know it's been a hard week.
Who would listen? Am I right?
That's fair.
It's been a hard week, apparently, for you?
No, just in general. Because I came back from vacation and apparently the world was on fire.
Well, not the world, just select buildings in certain cities are on fire.
Yeah, that's not concerning in the slightest, right?
No, I'm not saying that it is or isn't. We had a conversation about this. Remember, we talked about riots that are going on in the 70s and the late 60s.
We talked about a lot of things, though.
We certainly did. But I hopefully turned your black pill to more gray.
No. You're the one who would have turned my otherwise not black pill a little bit darker in shades.
What? No, you were talking about this is the end of the world as we know it, etc. And I was like, okay, back up off the ledge, honey.
As a joke, I usually say it's the end of the world as we know it because it's a joke. You know, I go with that most hyperbolic response to a serious thing because I revel in gallows humor. I revel in it.
Nice laugh, actually. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck off, Pokimane. I'm so sick of your goddamn face.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I log into Streamlabs, there's that idiot staring at me, giving the peace sign. Like, hey, I'm Pokimane. I'm adorable. Give me money.
You know, maybe I should take up that mantle of e-thoughtness in order to get more muns from the YouTubes. Do you think it would work?
No, it won't work.
No, it wouldn't work.
No, because this little thing called integrity is going to get in your way, and Yeah, I know.
It's a bitch. Life's a bitch too.
There we go. Hold on. There it did. Hello, chat! !
Finally.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, chat.
So you what costume? I'm just reading your t-shirt.
This t-shirt is my costume.
Nice.
Would to be quite frank, this is not a t-shirt I bought myself. This is a t-shirt I grabbed out of a bag of hand-me-down clothes from my older cousin. No, my younger cousin actually, but he's taller than me now. So he might as well be older, I guess. Sad face. I'm the shortest cousin in the family.
That statement is probably true of all sorts of things. I am the shortest person in my class. I am the shortest cousin in the room. I am the short.
Yes, Polly.
Yeah, and your point.
Did I need a reminder that I am below average in respect to height? Apparently, I did, because here you are reminding me that I'm below average. I used to be the tallest cousin.
Well, when you're 5 doesn't count anymore.
No. I was like 13 when I hit my growth spurt, and then I just no more after that. And then I was taller for like a year. I was taller than everyone else, and then just slowly, as if they were mocking me, they started encroaching upon my height, and then soon enough they surpassed me. And my sister, who's 13 years old, 9 years younger than me, is about to be, I think she is taller than me actually at this point. So
as if they were mocking me.
Yeah. Which is funny because my mother is super tall. My brother is super tall. My mother's birth family is super tall. And it seemed like it kind of whizzed right by me. I got kind of gypped out of the gene pool in that respect.
The gypsies have been pushed from area to area for centuries, maligned, put in concentration camps, and here you are, throwing around their name.
Yes, and.
And good, because they deserve it.
Okay. Point I would like to make is this. The gypsies, or I'm sorry, the Romani is we're supposed to call them, right?
The nomadic Europeans.
Yes. I feel like my understanding of them is that they don't quite have immediate access to Wi-Fi, let alone my specific YouTube channel at any given point in time. So it doesn't really matter if I use the word gypped in any capacity on my YouTube channel. Like, would they ever see it? Would they ever care? Do they give a fuck? Has anyone ever asked them?
Well, you know what? If you want to get all black-pilled on this particular issue, or, well, if you want to get all cynical on this particular issue, it comes down to a lot of things. How does privilege actually exist? Well, the ability to, who can't you make fun of, right? You can go ahead and make fun of the gypsies. Why? Because they have no power to stop you. And who are they going to go complain to? Are they going to go complain to some human rights tribunal in Europe that, like, oh, we're being made fun of. This is maligning us. This is racist. You know what I mean? But yet, you'll have somebody like Michael Eric Dyson in a debate against Jordan Peterson and call him a privileged white man and a mean old white man, throwing racial insults basically at the guy, not responding to any of his questions, and being cheered on by the audience while claiming he has no privilege. What you're doing right now, Michael Eric Dyson, could not be a more demonstrable example of the excessive amount of privilege that you possess currently. You're racially mocking your opponent, and the entire audience of over 1,000 people is cheering you on. And you're talking about your oppression?
Much oppressed, very much so.
Think about that one for a second. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, it's not everywhere in society. He was talking about oppression in academia. Really? I am sure. Confront him on that. No one's going to, because news entertainers aren't going to do it. Bill Maher's certainly not going to do it. No. And I mean Bill Maher because that's his regular guest that he brings on, because he's going to rattle off a whole load of meaningless postmodernist nonsense in these endless run-on sentences that make mine sound stilted and short by comparison. Anyway.
Excuse me.
So I found a new comic book I'm really digging.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's called, hold on. Where the hell did it go? I'll just go ahead and open it and show you. Now, there's a lot of nudity, some vor, a little bit of inflation.
What? Hang on. This is not age appropriate at all.
I'm kidding. It's none of those things.
You scared me there for a second. I thought you were a weirdo.
Well, would you have even shared the screen if you saw a whole bunch of weird shit going on?
Well, you see, my vision seems to be going, so, like, the little tiny screen down there at the bottom, I don't even think I would be, like, I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, what is that? Is that a today? Is that a today?
Holy fuck. You know what? I just got Google and the programmers behind Chrome decided to finally approach something called honesty. A friendly heads up. Chrome has a bug that can cause screen sharing to crash on Windows 10. It's pretty rare, but it happens. Yeah, it happens all the fucking time. It's been happening for over 2 years. Everyone, when they go to share their screen, it freezes up and crash. Chrome sucks. It's heavy and plodding as the proverbial man with clay feet. And they're finally giving you a pop-up saying, well, just so you know, our shitty fucking browser might crash. Yeah, thanks.
Making me feel small, Polly, because I exclusively use Google Chrome.
Why? There's so many other options.
Okay, because, like, it's convenient for me. I have all my little bookmarks and tabs all organized and pretty here. And then I have, like, I'm signed into my Weebo account so that I have access to all of my other accounts and whatnot. And so, like, it's been a habit that's turned into a necessity at this juncture.
Okay, fair enough. Those are all very... No, you know what? Those are all very reasonable reasons. Yeah. That's all very rational. Okay, but I would ask, why not use a Chromium-based browser that you can just import, export all your stuff over, like Brave, for example?
I've never heard of it before.
Brave is a highly useful browser. I've got it installed. It's what FAR uses. Zelthor uses it, I think. No, Zelthor is still using Chrome. James uses it. Oh, you don't know James. Never mind.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know James.
Yeah. Carrie uses... Oh, you don't know her either. Okay, lots of people use it, is the point here. Okay.
What the fuck is this Carrie bitch? I'm just kidding.
Carrie? Don't you be talking about no bitches up on my shit. No, it's... I use WaterFox as my go-to browser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fork off of Firefox because any browser that's been around long enough, they figure out, hey, listen, we can make a whole bunch of money by collecting and selling your data or forcing advertisements on you. WaterFox is Firefox, but stripped down without all the bells and whistles that nobody uses anyway, and none of that other annoying shit.
See, I tried to switch over to Firefox a few years ago, but like I said, all of my shit is like centralized to what it is I got going on. Like my extensions are all here, my bookmarks, everything is calibrated just so that it's convenient for me when I'm doing literally anything.
Weebo, you are far too young to be making boomer arguments about I'm too old to change.
I'm too old to change my ways.
I mean, look over in chat.
I'm setting my ways because
you
it's
got
more
Ray
convenient.
saying, well, seriously, look, you got Ray saying, brave woman, girly browser, a sadistic atheist. You can transfer to Brave. He's absolutely right.
Okay, I will give it a look-see after the show, but right now we're live and Chrome is the browser that is supporting this stream. I'm sorry to say,
I'm not saying do it right.
Be okay.
We are having a tech discussion. I'm not saying change everything right now.
Change everything about yourself, or I won't love you anymore. We love you.
Okay, so the comic is up. This
the Vor comic.
No, this is Crimes by Women.
Women don't do crimes.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
This comic is all about it. Here she is pointing a gun at this gentleman and saying, get out of that car, you crumb, or I'll splatter you.
Do you think women get only 70% of the prison time that men do?
70. As if it's even 70.
I'm sorry, you're right, 64%.
But this comic is great. It's from the 1940s, and it's all, you can tell the true scans. Look how desaturated all the images are on newsprint, right?
Ooh.
But it's all about like tough women doing, it's the campiness of it. I laugh out loud page after page.
Bet you
No
it's all
kidding.
prostitution.
So they're doing a little sitting around planning, right? And she's smoking cigarettes and they're drinking liquor early in the morning because she's hardcore. No kidding. Listen, I'm sick of this joint. I'm looking for action. Let me go with you. How about it? Well, I don't know. Yeah, this ain't no kid stuff. We play for keeps. So what? I can handle it. I got a gun.
No, you're supposed to use your feminine voice, Polly. You can't just use the gruffiest non-feminine voice that you have under the belt.
Well, you know what? That's the thing.
I need you to use a feminine voice now. All right?
I don't have one.
Yes, you do. Everyone does.
Listen to my natural voice.
No,
this
no,
is me
no.
speaking with my natural voice. Does it sound like I can do it?
You can do it. I believe in you. I want to hear it. Come on, try it. Give it a shot.
The best I can do is a valley girl. So I'm going to end up making this criminal woman sound like a valley girl.
Do it.
Okay. So what? I can handle a gun and I got a good head on my shoulders. This is what I've been looking for. A chance to make some easy dough.
Okay, but now I need a little bit pitched upwards.
I can't do it.
Yeah, you just did. You just did. I heard it.
No yes, kidding. Listen, I'm sick of this joint. I'm looking for action. Let me go with you. How about it? Oh, look at this. She pistol whipped him.
Oh, shit. She hardcore.
What are you going to do? Nothing much, Pally. I'm just going to see you keep that trap shut. Wham!
He out like a light. He doesn't exist anymore. He gone. He go bye-bye.
I love this. So it's a whole series. I grabbed all of them. Pretty happy about it. Yes, it's Crimes by Women.
Spirit Thief can't wait for them poly audiobooks. Hey guys, if you would like to fund the line of poly audiobooks that we are about to embark on, you can do so by checking out the links in the description and sending off your monies to the Polydubs over there. Go ahead, do it.
The Polydubs.
I promise you it's worth it. Also, we're trying to crowdfund to get Polly a friend because Polly's lonely. So we need to get him a dog, a cat, a parakeet, a ferret, something. Wife. Or a Russian wife. Are you sure you want Russian?
Well, there's no English mail order brides, so, you know.
You could get one if you went through the proper channels. All right. I've seen Taken.
Oh,
I know that you can get any woman you want from any country you want, so long as you are willing to pay a pretty penny. All right.
Well, yeah, I don't even have money to upgrade my potato yet, and you're wanting me to buy a woman? I mean, damn.
I just think you need company. A turtle will do, honestly. Just
can you? I'm not willing to human traffic some beautiful woman from England now.
All right, then we'll get you a hamster.
That's the great substitution.
And here's the thing: it'll work because hamsters are like nocturnal, so they stay up all night and they sleep during the day. So like, you always have company.
You're giving the crazy girlfriend face to the camera right now. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm really good at it. Boyfriend says so.
I'll bet he does. Yes. Christ. There is the link to my channel. Speaking of voice acting, if you're interested in hearing me attempt voice acting, not well, but attempting it nonetheless. Yeah, I've done voice reads from both C.S. Lewis's The Screw Tape Letters that I'm having a lot of fun with, and American Psycho, because Bret Easton Ellis is one of my favorite fiction authors. And I just recorded another chapter from American Psycho, and it's ready to be posted. I'll be posting it later on tonight. So anyway, if you're actually curious and not just fucking around about hearing me attempt to voice act, it's over on my channel.
Would you be more impressed if it was a brunette hamster that we got you?
What is it with you and the hamsters? Where are you getting the idea that this was a life companion?
No. It only lasts for 6 years. So if you didn't end up liking it, you just have to outlive it. I think the lifespan of a hamster is like 6 years. I might be overshooting. Lifespan of a hamster.
That's a good question. How long do they live? 5 years? I'm gonna go with.
A Robofersky dwarf hamster is about 3 years. A Chinese hamster is 2 to 3 years. So, okay, you wouldn't even have to have it for very long to realize if you like it or not, right? So that's less time commitment than just an average woman.
Oh, hold on, I need to digest that. What you just said was 2 to 3 years, up to 5 years, and all of that equates to less of a time commitment than the average woman.
Yeah. Right?
Now, when I say things like that, it's Polly's got commitment issues. Polly has such a low opinion of women. Polly's kind of a misogynist. All right.
Well, it's because I'm a woman that I'm not a misogynist or a commitment issued weirdo. Devil Fruit Zero. Get a purebred golden retriever, 3 years lifespan. I can attest to the fact that that is wrong, sir, because my purebred golden retriever is 4 years of age right now. Haha. Suck a my peen.
I'm going to sound clip that.
You go right ahead.
I'm just
You say that quite often, but have you ever actually sound clipped me saying something silly?
You know what is funny? It's funny you say that because I've got a folder full of things that I intend to sound clip. Some of them are you, some of them are Irate Alex, different things that people have said, movies that I've watched as clips, and it's just my potato's running at peak resource usage just running a stream that I've tried running SoundPad at the same time. No, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So donate generously to my.
There you go. You got it. Are you sure you're not super intoxicated too?
Generate donatedly over to my. You know that miserable wretch of a human being, Invader V.
Yes, I'm familiar.
Yeah, I know you are.
Intimately so.
We were watching the Deadwing Dork stream where he was talking about e-thoughts and stuff. The one where your stream was used and he was using the clips from Weebo Incognito. Yeah. Because you were one of the few people online that were generous enough to not like yak and talk over it. Like, it's like, here's this archive stuff. Yeah, check out Weebo's Weebo Incognito. If you didn't know, she has a second channel full of stuff.
Well, literally, it's just Invader V stuff, but I'm going to use it to like archive clips that I use in other videos from like streams and whatnot when I'm making a point so that you have the full context available to you. Because here's the thing. It is such a hell of a bitch of a time to actually find shit that you want in context, in the full context of what it is, especially on Twitch, because Twitch, one, it's like 3 to 4 hours of streaming, if not 6. And the clips are limited to about 2 minutes. And for whatever reason, Twitch just deletes streams after a certain amount of time. So if I need to clip things like as soon as they happen in their context, in their full context, but that's still like, it takes forever because I have to go back through the thing. But no one on YouTube that does this kind of stuff actually goes out of their way to like source the material and give you an idea of where it is that you can find it. So I have to search for it. And it is the worst. The absolute worst.
It really is.
I would appreciate more of the people like me with like my sourcing ethic about them.
Well, and that when we were watching it, Deadwing Dork stream, and he's like, say your name, say Weebo Jones, fuck. Such an opportunity missed. He could have given you a shout out, and like, he's got a huge audience, man. It would have. God damn it.
He clicked on the Thought Patrol video, but I don't actually think he played any of it, did he?
No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't.
He just came up.
But you're really clever Thought Patrol graphic, the red, the blue, that came up. Hopefully some people, did you notice any sub increase, any view increase from that?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I did notice it a little bit. I'm working on the next Thought Patrol videos. I have like 3 in mind that I could do, but the collection of like graphics and clips takes forever because I do have to go through Twitch streams and I do have to like clip them out and collect them and find their original source if they actually have one. So it's a stretch. It's a lengthy process. I have another video in the process being made, and it has to do with Title IX improvements and a few other things too. I might do a Weebo reviews in the near to soon future. This is going to be so much fun when I'm also working on the website. Polly, I showed it to you, but not everyone
I know,
else
I've
has
seen
seen
it.
it.
It's and guys, just so you know, this ain't no regular Wix. She ain't using no Squarespace.
No.
Your girl is programming it from scratch.
I'm hard coding it. HTML, CSS, JavaScript incorporated.
Oh, hells to the yeah.
I bought the domain name today.
Did you really? Sweet.
Yeah, so if you go to weebojones.com, it'll take you directly to my YouTube channel at the moment until I've actually decided to assign, like, to go through the process of buying a web hosting subscription and then applying all of the code that I've been working on. I just got the navigation bar to take you to different pages today, so that works all today. What I'm going to be going through next is the process and steps of, like, articulating how it is that I want like the donation button for PayPal to be allocated, and then maybe I'll be looking at like an updates and announcements section. But the calendar also has been embedded into the website as of right now, so that is something that I'm really excited about because it does have updates as to like what I'm doing throughout the week for the channel. So like movie nights, game nights, special uploads, and our cocktail hour thing as well. So
woohoo!
I'm super excited about it. And the more that I put into it, the more excited I'm getting about it. I'm probably overhyping it, to be quite frank, because if it goes the way that usually things go, I'm gonna super hype it. My super diehard fans are gonna be super hype about it, but then everyone else is gonna be like, "Oh, Weebo's got a website? Sounds interesting. Maybe I'll look at it once, twice." But I'm not actually gonna use it.
Well, you know what? It's still a goddamn good idea. You know what I mean? Because YouTube is tenuous as fuck. It has all of the reliability of something unreliable. I couldn't think of an analogy there. Anyway, to be able to put up the videos on there, and you're talking about running your own server, and running your own server off of a computer is relatively easy. Platy and One Ton Hammer can absolutely help you out with that if you have any technical issues. It is just a smart thing. I want to do it. It's just like, because it gets to a point where you have your own support, you have your own base of an audience that wants to see your content. And if it gets taken down from YouTube, what's your other option? Go check it out on BitChute. Well, you should do that, but there's nothing wrong with having your own domain name and your own server where everything is stored independently. That's if you have the ability to do it, and you do, fucking run with it, weebs. I mean, shit.
And I'm also thinking of having like an email subscription service where you can like subscribe and then get updates as to when it is that I upload videos anywhere at any point in time. So that'll be cool. I don't know how it's going to be exactly because I'm still in the planning phases of everything, but I'm getting excited about it because I'm learning a new skill at the same time, and it's all mine, you know?
Yeah.
And it looks
Ryan Walters got there. All the reliability of Polly showing up on time. Yeah, that fucking reliable. Quiver in fear.
Wow. Thank you to Abaddon for the donation over on the not the Streamlabs, the super chat. Get Polly a parrot or a blow up doll. Oof. We need him someone to talk to. That's like the big thing.
What is this new focus? I have IRL friends, Weebo.
Yes, and
you know what's funny is that girls IRL are not particularly understanding of going online because women can be kind of possessive, and they're like, "What do you mean you're going online? Who are you talking to?" And then one of this one girl that I've been seeing, she came and checked out this stream, and her exact words, "Who is that bitch?"
I'm that bitch, guys.
You that bitch.
Hi, how are you?
And I told her the truth. I was like, one day I was online minding my own business, and all of a sudden this person named Weebo Jones slid into my DMs. I was just like,
if I'm that bitch, is she this bitch, or what kind of bitch is she? Just curious. How are we classifying bitches now?
I'm like, it's like a YouTube show. It's like a talk show. Chat shows up and we interact with them and have fun. And what? Like, that was my reaction. I didn't even know how to explain. I'm like, I also do comic book curation when we talk about comic books. It's like, Are you angry at the comics now?
This isn't Omegle, guys. Calm down. All right. Oh, yeah. I love that, Race Jacobson. Homewrecker Jones.
Homewrecker Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I inserted myself into a situation between two people knowingly with the intention to homewreck. Ooh. Nice. If anything,
yeah, number one,
she's
nowhere
trying
is
to
right.
homewreck us.
You need that up in your fucking merch store. I'm that bitch t-shirts. Yeah. you need to do this.
I'll jot this idea down. I have my
number one, nowhere's got the rich idea for the day right there. Run with it.
Oh, I am working on Thought Patrol t-shirts as well, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right. I'm that bitch. I like this. Did you know if I wanted to get embroidered snapback hats, all right, like I have to get 12 of them and it cost me $200 to get a bundle of them. There's no guarantee that I would sell them all. I looked into it. I looked into special edition snapback Thought Patrol hats.
Right. Oh, did you hear my complaint about snapbacks?
What was your complaint about snapbacks?
See, here's the evolution of the baseball hat. Okay, they go snapbacks, and then pro fit for players that wanted. No, I needed to fit this snap thing. Like, look, here's my hat size. Make me one. So they did, and then it's like, oh well, the players have those in the same way you want game worn jerseys, etc. And I can understand that you want a pro fit hat. Okay, pro fit hats are more expensive because they're not universal, one size fits all kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. And pro fits became so fucking common that you couldn't even get a snapback anymore. They stopped making them. Now they're making throwback snapbacks and charging more than they are for the fucking pro fit because it's a throwback specialty item. Oh, fuck you guys. You now have a one size fits all hat that's cheap as fuck to make and you're charging more than the hat that costs more to make. And yeah, I bought one. Shut up.
This is why I stick with the generic. Actually, I think this hat was sent to me by a fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Speaking of which, I should totally open up a P.O. box near where it is I currently live. Problem is, I see myself moving in the near to soon future, so it doesn't make sense to open one up right now without knowing where it is exactly I'm going to be living.
Oh, no. Avocus says, have I had that rant before? Oh yeah, I've had that rant before. That thing has pissed me off for a long time. Oh, Unholy Reaper, what's up, buddy? Have you seen this? Because Weebo avoids me on Twitter because she thinks she's like too good to like interact with me or something.
I don't avoid you on Twitter. You never do anything with me on Twitter.
Did you see this?
In my life. Lotters will be shot on site.
Will
be shoot on site. Fuck.
Yes.
I corrected that in my brain. Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Lotters are not afraid. I like the addition of the beret. Was that like...
Because it's like, okay, Weebo, you just came from Paris. It's like, lotters are not afraid. Get it? It's like... Okay.
Yeah, I was just in Paris. That doesn't mean I retain a goddamn thing.
No, it's just the people screwed up the spelling of looters so badly that they're like, oh yeah, lotters are not afraid. I loved this so much. Far sent this to me and she said she found this and I'm like, oh, I gotta steal that from you and post on Twitter. That's the funniest shit I've seen in a while. And the beret just sells it.
You should put that on a t-shirt. Polly! Merch idea.
Yeah, you know what? I got all sorts of merch ideas and I need to really get my shit in order.
You got to write this one down, though, because this is a golden nugget of an idea. Come on. Commission Eve to make you a French otter drawing, and then you can put it on the t-shirt.
You mean Far?
Fuck, you're right. I was talking with Eve last night, so that's why I'm thinking about it. Oh, God.
Yeah, I heard you were talking all kinds of smack about me behind my back. Eve came into Discord this morning and said, oh, yeah, Weebo was talking all kinds of smack about you. And I was
oh, yeah. No, we were just talking about how we need to share custody of you.
Well, I do need adult supervision. It's true.
Otherwise, you never get any work done, obviously. This we know. It's established. So yes, I meant Far, not Eve, although I love them both.
Here, Weebo, what I'm going to do is, because the sound is important, I'm going to put something inside chat here. You can play it so we can all hear it. But this is Hammer sent this at me on Twitter. And
is this family appropriate? Because this is a good Christian channel.
No, it absolutely is. He titled it, "When You Ask Polydub When the Next Comic Book Curation Is Going to Be." And this is the GIF with audio that he put up. And it's,
all right, hang on.
It made my fucking day, man. It's so funny.
All right. That is adorable. Should we craft an otter? I feel like we definitely should. Ollie, are you okay?
It's so funny when an adorable animal tries to. I am scary, rawr. Like it's like, you're not scary at all. You're adorable. Nice try though.
I don't know, man. I've seen the allegations from a certain irate Alex about otters and whatnot. I know what they're capable of.
You mean his what does he want to his smearings, his insult, constantly calling otters rapists.
Yes. Oh, speaking of cute animals, I want to show everyone this lovely thing because it's going to make y'all feel really good inside. Hopefully y'all can hear it. So I was filming my video for this week earlier today. This is what happened. Right. Yes. Come in. Hop on the bed, buddy. Go lay down. I'm not stopping you. Why are you meowing at me? Get on the bed or go away. You gonna keep meowing at me like that? Just hop up. Do it. Stop it.
It was a full-on conversation argument. You had what you got.
I know.
What's this? Jesus.
I know.
You actually had a full conversation with a fucking cat. I
know. That's what got me like so bad. Like, oh God. My cat is super freaking intelligent because like he waited outside of the door and I was like, come on in. And that's when he decided it was time for him to come on in because he'd meowed like 3 times before that and he was just sitting at the door looking at me. And he does that quite often. Put that
was too funny.
Get on the bed or go away and put that on the shirt. Yeah. I did not lose. All right, hang on. Ryan Rawlings, Weebo lost an argument with a cat. Imagine my shock. I did no such thing, all right? He got on the bed, didn't he?
Eventually, yeah.
He took his sweet time about it, but he did. He wasn't here earlier, annoying me, but, you know, what are you going to do? He really likes attention. Like, you know, normally cats aren't super attention-y. They, like, hide from humans or they have a personality of, like, don't touch me, you peasant. Or they just don't. They just do not. They, like, hide. And they just exist, and that's it. Cole is very different in that he is perfectly fine being by himself, but he also is like, if he wants attention, he's gonna get all up in your face. I have pictures of him sitting on my laptop keyboard, inhibiting my ability to continue on with my homework because he wants attention. He wants my attention. And you can try to pull him off and put him out of the room, but he's gonna scratch on the door until you open the door. And then he's going to jump on the desk anyway and just plop down and make it impossible for you to do anything else besides pay him attention. And he has been like that since we got him, like 15, 16 years ago. Yeah. He's a really strange cat.
Actually, that's a long-lived cat. Damn.
Mhm.
I mean, he's still they live up to like what, 25 in
They
some cases.
can. I think the oldest cat on the entire face of the planet is like 35. They can be really old. It just really depends on like the cat, their lifestyle, their habits, the way you feed them, and whatnot. Cole has been through the ringer. I don't know if you realize this, but in the video, you can see the fact that he has no tail. And that is because when we found him like 16 years ago when he was a kitten, he'd been mauled by an animal, and his tail had been fractured to a point where the vet was like, the best way to deal with this is to just amputate and be done with it. So that's what we ended up doing. And he's totally fine. And then a few other years ago, right, I was coming back home from high school after like, I think it was some sort of performance or rehearsal for a performance. I think during choir, I was back home and my dad was like, we need to go to the vet in this town far away to see a specialist about our cat because Cole has been injured. Like he came limping home after hours of being outside of the house because he'd been mauled again. Like this cat is a glutton for punishment. I'm not going to lie. His tibia had been dislocated and fibia, I think, fractured. I might get those two confused, but his leg was jacked up, like seriously jacked up. So we had to take him, and the vet suggested we just put him down and be done with it. And I was just like, fuck no, that's my cat. We are taking him to the vet. We are getting him fixed no matter the cost. I will pay for it out of my own savings if it comes down to it. Like, we don't even have to go on vacation the next 6 years. I don't give a fuck. This cat is part of the family. He is not going to die. So we get him fixed up. He's in a cast for like 2 months. He's not allowed outside of the house past dark, usually. Of course, we're not super fantastic about that sometimes because he's a sneaky bastard too. But he's better. And they told us he would never walk normally again either. But you saw him. He's walking completely fine and he has no problem jumping up onto things at all. So the cat's a miracle. I swear to God. Best cat I've ever had or ever met. Love him to death.
Grill and Pirate Pete says, when the vet tells you it costs $1,000 to fix your cat, remind him that kittens are usually free.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I think that might be a threat to the vet. Like, you need to get more reasonable with your prices because I can go get a free kitten right now. I don't.
Well, like, I think the implication, because it wasn't a cheap surgery, because they did have to open him up and they had to like screw shit into him, and the anesthetics would have cost money, the screws would have cost money, the time and the labor would have cost money. So it wasn't just $1,000; it was more like $5,000 to fix his leg. That kid has had that cat has had money sunken into him to make him like all good, and because he's a part of the family. You don't just let a member of your family die because it's inconvenient for you to pay for their health care. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's just not the way that you should function, I would think, right? Like, if it was a human member of your family, you would definitely like go to all ends of the earth to fix them. And an animal, they're an animal, yes, but so are humans. Like, yeah, they're your companion. They mean something to you.
Yeah, no, I don't see why. Absolutely right.
BG, Weebo's vet needed to screw her cat. No, he needed to put screws in his leg to reattach some of the muscle ligaments to his bone because of the damage that had been done. It was really bad. It was really bad. Like, you know when an animal's been hurt or a person's been hurt and their eyes get really their pupils get super dilated and their behavior gets all weird and funky, and they're not quite all there like they normally would be. Cole was all that, but he still managed to limp his way back home. Like, normally I wouldn't expect a cat to be able to like do that necessarily from wherever it is that he was. Anyway, sorry. I'm talking my cat up, so no one's stealing. He's the best cat in the world. You know what's funny is that every time I see a cat without or with a tail, it's always really weird to me because I'm not used to it.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's so strange. Like, you shouldn't have that attachment there. It needs to go bye-bye. Ah, anyway. So yeah, this is why I think that Polly should have a friend, because friends are great. An animal friend, preferably a hamster.
I don't understand why. Okay.
Do you not want a hamster? Is that it? Should we?
No, I just don't
an
understand
otter?
your fixation.
Eh. Would you prefer a cat or dog or ferret or an otter or parrot or turtle?
Well, somebody had suggested in chat that I get a ferret. They're like they're like a land otter. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Do they have
The
one?
reason I don't have a pet at all, I would get a dog or a cat, but my rental agreement specifically says no pets, and it's quite emphatic about it.
What about a goldfish?
What about a goldfish?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could get fish.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
I mean, they're fish. I mean, it's
What
what are you
about
gonna do? Take it for a walk?
yeah? You just grab the bowl and just start walking down the street.
I guess you could do
So
that.
long as you don't yeet it over your neighbor's fence, we're good.
I would be killing the fish, not taking it for a walk.
Yeah, I know. or you could get a tank full of succulents.
What's a succulence?
They're like desert plants that come in, I don't know. Then you find them at Home Depot in the plant section. They're like a whole section of Home Depot's plant section dedicated to succulents, which is what okay, I'm just show you because it's hard to explain. Like, I think cactus, but that's not entirely everything. Like, that a succulent is. Also, succulents is a funny word. They're like these things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know those had a name and all, but
Look it, they're so cute. That's so many succulents. Succulents. I don't actually know why they're called that. Chat, do you have an explanation? But yeah, so what people do is that they, at least a friend of mine did this, is they get like a not a terrarium, but maybe something akin to that. It's like a tank, like a fishbowl tank or whatever, and they fill it with succulents, and they put like a little light over top, and then they take care of them like they're a pet, except they're a plant. It's like an at-home garden full of not edible foods.
Have
I convinced you to get a tank full of succulents?
No.
No.
You know who's I find fish tanks interesting and all that, and I do, but you know who's convinced me to not do the whole aquarium thing? Sinatra. That's exactly
what I thought. Yeah.
Like, yeah, Sinatra's a great guy. I love him to death, but Jesus Christ, like it's.
See, if I'm going to dedicate an entire space of anything in my household to anything that I need to take care of, it's going to be either something that I can mooch off of cuteness wise, and that is my animals, right? I can post shamelessly, show them on Instagram and whatnot for views and whatnot. No, I'm just kidding. They make me feel better, and they're very nice to socialize with. But if I am going to take care of anything that seemingly just, is going to sit there and look pretty or whatnot, I think I'd like have a greenhouse full of edible plants, like lettuce and spinach and arugula and tomatoes and zucchini and cucumbers and whatnot, because then at least I can harvest it and use it for food and whatnot, and then it comes back every year, hopefully. Like, that makes more sense than just a goldfish tank.
Well, BG makes a good point. Just avoid saltwater fish. Freshwater fish are much easier to take care of. I know a few people that are pretty aquarium crazy and stuff like that. And yeah, that's exactly what they say. They go with saltwater because they like the challenge of it and the maintaining of it and all that stuff and the fish that come with it. But they're like, man, go freshwater. Holy Christ. Yeah.
Really?
That was their suggestion. I've never had an aquarium. I don't know.
See, I wouldn't know either way, but I know in terms of like, swimming pools, saltwater treated swimming pools are better than chlorine treated swimming pools? Question mark. Oh, it's a beagle.
It's a beagle. This is my favorite breed of dog. I love English hounds. I know. And the best of all English hounds is the beagle. Look at him; he's so adorable.
You know, I used to have a beagle, and there's a funny story about my old beagle. Her name was Molly. This is probably gonna make you a little bit mad.
Okay.
So this is when my parents were still married. My mother decided to go out and get a beagle for the family without my dad's knowledge one day. And so that day, my dad comes home from work after a long day of work, and he's like, "There's a dog in my house. How did it get here? Where did it come from?" And that was the start of a very tumultuous relationship between my father and Molly, during which time Molly would get out of the house somehow and get lost in the neighborhood somehow several times. And my mother would post a reward and pay people for the returning of Molly several times. It wasn't until many years later that my dad told me that in actuality he was just letting Molly out of the house and hoping that she would find a new family at some point. But then she kept getting returned to us, and Mom kept paying the return fee, and Dad would keep letting her out. And I'm pretty sure this is why their marriage failed. But yeah.
Wow. Lord Famine and Lion Patriot win the nerd prize of the day. That is in fact Porthos. That is Captain Jonathan Archer's beagle from USS Enterprise.
Is it a he?
In the show it's a he, but the actual dog they have is a she.
She's so cute though.
Yeah. Oh man,
those floppy ears.
I mean, she's got floppy ears. It's and Jolly Roger says, they're smart. They're in every hound is, especially beagles. I mean, they're incredibly trainable. They have a sense of smell that's mind-blowingly powerful, but they have a mind of their own. And you can't stop them from baying because they're beagles. It's what they do. So when they start baying and howling, you can't stop them because it would be, it's just, you can. It's just what they do. It would be like telling
parrots telling a parrot to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it would be like telling an otter not to be frisky and run around having fun. No, it's just what they do. You can't stop them.
Is that what you call it, Polly?
They're adorable and they juggle.
They can juggle, really?
Yeah, they juggle rocks. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. All right, cool.
Yeah, but I wanted a beagle before Captain Archer even had since I was a kid, I wanted a beagle because they're just adorable and awesome and smart and fun, and they're not oversized. I know some people like really huge dogs and some people like them pocket dogs. I've never been. If anything, I would rather have a really big dog than one of them stupid little yapping pocket dogs. Yeah, no offense to anyone who's got one, but
the smaller the dog, the yappier it is.
Yeah.
My mother used to say about our Doberman miniature Doberman Pinscher. If you don't know what that is, it's literally a Doberman Pinscher, but Chihuahua size. His name is Max, and he's still alive actually. He's about as old as my little sister is. And Max, she used to say that he was a big dog in a little dog's body because he was completely harmless, but he was a yappy motherfucker.
I was just reading. Jolly Roger says, I had a beagle years ago that kept escaping her kennel, and we couldn't figure out how, so we just sat and watched. She was sticking her paws in the chain links and climbing out like a ladder.
Oh my god. Okay, what I will say is, Polly, like when you eventually do decide that it's time for you to like invest in an animal, and you're like beagle, that's the way to go. Definitely, I would recommend that you foster a beagle before you actually purchase one to see if you would actually be interested in the beagle because, you did just make a comment about small dogs being yappy, and that sounded like you were annoyed easily by yappy dogs, and beagles are a more noisy breed than others. So like
They,
you
I did
should
a
get
lot
an
of.
idea of what it is that you can handle versus what you can't handle in a dog before you actually make that investment.
I hear you. I do, and I did a bunch of reading about like beagles and English hounds in general, and it's like, man, you need to exercise them, and it's mean to have a beagle like in an apartment. They need exercise. They need space to cover. I mean, they're a hound. They want to cover things and smell things and have a territory that they
Yeah.
are walking around and surveying constantly and stuff like that. And they they're extremely social. They want attention and activity and so on and so forth. So if you don't have those things, it's mean to get one because you're just going to be like cooping it up basically all the time. You know.
Hmm. It's like having oh fuck, what it's called, a husky, and only having one husky. They are a social dog. They are a pack animal. They need at least like three other people huskies to be like interactive with because they are one active, two social, three yappity. You can't just get one husky. You have to get many.
To get many huskies.
Mini huskies. Here's the thing. I am a very like I come from a dog family, right? So we have Daphne, and then my cousins have Ginger, and you've met Ginger, and then there are a few other dogs. We have on my other cousin's side, we have Blitz, who is a Belgian Malinois. We have Riggs, who is like a oh god, what's a really fun sheep herder dog?
Oh,
Mm,
um, shit!
yes.
Like the dog for Max and whoever from the
Mm-hmm.
Looney Tunes cartoon.
Chat, help us out here.
Are they just called sheepdogs?
No, no, there's a specific name. Border Collie. There we go. Thank you, Zombie
Oh,
Teddy.
okay, that's what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay,
Then there are two Border Collies. There's Riggs, and then there's oh fuck, what's his name?
a border collie like Lassie.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And then my other cousins, they actually adopted Daphne's brother Tank, who is also well, obviously is also a golden retriever because they're from the same litter, duh. And like they're all very big dogs, and there is a different way to train each of them, and there's a hierarchy amongst them as well. And there are different behaviorisms, mannerisms. Like for one, Blitz is like super energetic, and he is always in need of like attention and play and whatnot, and he's just always walking around socializing and whatnot. Daphne's a little bit more mellow, so like it's not just the breed of the dog that you have to pay attention to, it's also the personality of the dog because they change depending on the dog itself, and
Hmm.
especially how it is that they are socialized in infancy. The way that a dog reacts to certain things like loud noises is determined by how it is that you bring them up. So what we used to do with Daphne when she was a puppy is we drop books right next to her food and water bowl while she was eating in order to
Hmm.
make sure that she wasn't like super disturbed by loud noises, because it was really important to us that she wouldn't freak out whenever it was that we'd, have fireworks blasting, because the 4th of July is a big thing in my family. We have fireworks all the
Right,
time. And
right.
so we need to make sure that she's not going to be super freaked out by that, because otherwise then we have to deal with that. Other things like eating habits that's important to know about. Exercise too. Some dogs are more energetic than others, and if they don't get exercise properly, that comes out in other behaviors. So a big reason of why pit bulls are so regarded as aggressive is because a lot of people get pit bulls, but they don't actually put the energy into exercising them as much as they should, and as a result the pit bull has to expend that energy in another way, and the way that they do that is sometimes by acting aggressively, because they have a lot of energy and it's just pent up inside of them and there's no release. And so that's why you get a little bit more accidents in terms of pit bull adoptions.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things to know about a dog before you adopt them. A lot, a lot, a lot. And part of the reason why this is such an issue, right, is because we have bred dogs for certain specific purposes in the several thousands of years that we've been domesticating them. So the golden retriever, for instance, of today looks absolutely nothing like the golden retriever of 100 years ago because of the amount of like selective breeding that has been initialized in that species or in that specific breed for years and years and years. Same thing with a German Shepherd. Same thing with a Border Collie. Same thing with all these dogs. Like a Wiener dog. They were bred specifically in order to infiltrate weasel holes, I believe. And so that's why they're so long, thin, and stubby-legged. But it's not the most healthiest of things for them to be that constantly exposed to that trait to a point of it's actually not within their best interest. It's dysfunctional for them. So as a dog owner, I feel it's my responsibility to be super preachy about this because they are a creature that is important that I think we don't fuck up any more than we already have, all right?
Thank you very much. The next 6 minutes for the donation over on the Streamlabs. And he says, running high fives, my dude. Watch comic book curation on Polly's channel, y'all. It's a badass stream with some badass people. Throw some doubloons his way for his new kick-ass potato. Sub to this motherfucker because... buy some of his merch when he finally makes some. Yes, you should buy merch when I finally make some.
Absolutely. And speak of the devil, the next 6 minutes also donated to my Streamlabs to say, well, the silver lining of learning to create your own card game is that you now have the skills to run circles around whatever coding bitches need to get owned. High fives at any rate. Cole is an awesome dude. Weebo is an awesome Weebo. Buy her merch. Yes, and I did remember to put the link in the description this time, so ha! You can totally do that at your discretion if you so choose.
Who wants a Weebo body pillow?
Oh my god. Yes. Here's the thing. I don't even think that there's like a full body picture of me out there that would adequately fit on a body pillow in the way that you're supposed to have them, right? I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know what pictures you're taking of yourself. Maybe there is.
I don't have the wingspan to take full body pictures of myself, Polly. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, that's what people are for, to take the picture of you, or one of them selfie sticks.
Oh, BG is correcting me and saying that it was badgers, not weasel holes. Most people think of miniature... I'm going to try it. Dash hunt when they think of dash hunts. Yeah. I actually didn't know that that was the actual name for wiener dog. Like, I know wiener dog is not the name of a wiener dog, but it's ingrained in me that that's what the dog's name is. At this point. I'm sorry. I can't help it. But thank you for the correction. I knew I didn't get all of it right.
Have you seen those waifu body pillows that have fleshlights installed in them?
I'm sorry. Excuse. What?
Yeah. Yeah, people did that, man. Believe that? Fuck.
Actually, no, that doesn't surprise me because I've seen people get married to like
holograms.
Yeah, holograms. Hold on, like not there. Nothing is present. Like light representations of people.
Yep. Yeah, Jesus Christ, man, come on. There are a lot of lonely girls out there that want to go out on dates. You think about the amount of time you spent perfecting your waifu anime girl body pillow and then inserting a fleshlight into it and all that stuff. Why did you just open multiple accounts on different dating sites and find a cute girl to have coffee with? For God's sake, man.
Well, okay, so it's a nice trade-off. On the one hand, she can't cook you dinner or do the dishes, obviously. But on the other hand, right, she ain't gonna talk back to you, and she isn't going to shut off your Xbox while you're in the middle of, like, a raid.
Stop giving people reasons that this is okay, Weebo. Jesus Christ.
I can understand why people would opt for the less annoying version of women.
It is... It's a terrible idea no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
The solution to a nagging woman is a woman who doesn't nag, not an inanimate object.
Nah, I feel like the women who don't nag are few and far between. I mean, I'm a pretty chill woman folk person, right? And even I nag boyfriend to drink freaking H2O like 3 times a day. Because he sustains himself purely off of Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Okay, you know what? If the nagging is drink water, I'd be fine with it. My past relationship experience, the nagging I was being subjected to was not that. It was.
What was it?
No.
What was it?
Well, that's not for stream consumption. I'm just saying. Like,
Polly, you never pay me any attention. You're always reading your political, sociological,
well, you know what? That's an interesting thing that I've learned with some girls. I'd like to think it's not with all women, where it's okay. So you got a stack of papers that you got to grade or tests that you got to grade, right? I learned through experience. I need to go to my office to do it, like at campus. I can't take it home. I took the suggestion. Why don't you just come over here and do the work here, and then like
because it's not going to get done. That's why
it's not going to get done is the answer. And I was fucking naive enough to believe that it would be like, oh, you just want to like be around, so we're together. You're doing your work, I'm doing mine. Whenever
let me predict how this went down.
All right.
Your work over to the house or wherever it is that she's abiding, like, right, and you set up at the kitchen table, and like you're halfway through your first article when she starts like complaining about X, Y, and Z or whatnot, or she starts asking you questions, or she starts making plans, and she starts like, you know, talking to you, and then you're like, you respond thinking that it's like just like a one-time thing, and you go back to grading, and then 5 minutes later it's the exact same thing except a different topic, and then you respond again thinking, hey, it's gonna stop after I respond to this, and then you go back to grading, and then 5 minutes later it's the exact same thing, and that just completely cycles through until the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and then finally it's 5 hours later and you haven't gotten one single paper finished, and you're ripping your hair out.
Well, kind of. I mean, that's not too far off, but the most the common, and these are different women that this happened with. The most common interruption is, how much longer are you going to be?
As long as it freaking takes, man.
Yeah, and it's like, do you see this stack of papers here? Do you like?
Would you like to help?
Like, it's physically in front of you. It's not like they're files on a computer. You can see how tall this stack of papers is. That I got to put in at least a couple of hours a day for the next 3 or 4 days to get these all done. So if I spend time hanging out with you, that means I'm going to have 4 hours tomorrow, and I've got other stuff to do. This isn't the only thing in my life that I have to do for doctoral work, et cetera, right? Mm-hmm. You can't. It was just like a kid. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there? Are you finished yet? How much longer are you going to be? Uh-huh. Well, you came over here just to like what? Just work and not talk to me?
Yes.
That was your suggestion. Like, literally, like what? Like, why can't I work for like the next couple 3 hours, whatever the fuck, and then we can hang out afterwards, which means 9 o'clock. You got to give me until 9 o'clock, and it's like 7:15. Are you finished yet? You just. And so I learned. Here's the thing. I've learned this, and it's like, oh, I got some research to do. It's not just grading. It's like, I got research to do. I got some other things to do. I have to write my own paper. Can you do that later? Can you do that later? That was the most common line. Can't you do that later?
Oh God, like, that would trigger me so much.
And it's like, I have to do it sometime. Well, why do you have to do it now? There is something psychological, I think, about I have to go to my office to do work. If you're at home, to certain people, it doesn't seem like real work. It seems like something that can be put off.
Mm-hmm. You can
something about the geography of it makes it real or not. I don't get it.
Yeah, I can kind of get that because I don't know. I'm less productive when it is that I'm in my room, that as opposed to like when I go off somewhere to do the work itself. Like if I go to the nearest Starbucks, or I go to the nearest library, or I go to like outside. If I'm so much as like out of the range of this here computer charger cord right here, and it's plugged in, then I feel like there is a certain level of like time strain on me. Like I got to get it done in this amount of time, and I can't get distracted, and don't distract me and leave me alone. Right? Like, because the computer only has so much memory, And if I'm on a roll, I'm going to just keep doing it, and for as long as I have not the memory, the battery life, for as long as I have the battery life there available to me. And then once it is that the computer shuts down on me and forces me to take a break, then we can socialize. Then we can take a break. Then we can do something that is not work. And that's fine. And I'll just give it some time to recharge. It's not a big deal. And that's how I regulate my time. Because I have such a difficult time doing that.
Thexor of the Bearded says, women are very expensive hobbies. Okay, yeah. I get your point, but it reminded me of something. Yeah. I have had girlfriends where they had hobbies, right? And their hobbies were Netflix, weed, and me.
That's not a hobby. That's not a hobby. Those are leisure pastimes.
But in their mind, that was it, right? Like their hobbies, like when they weren't at work, what they had to do was, what they had available to them was Netflix, weed, and me. And that's bad, because I've got like a billion fucking hobbies, like too many to do at any one time. So I go on kicks where I do this more than that or whatever. And I get into other things and stuff. I've learned that I need a woman in my life that has a lot of interests and a lot of curiosity about the world and wants to do things and etc. You understand what I'm saying here? Because like, I can't be the only thing in your life that provides you with stimulation.
Yes, I get that. I get that 100%. Like, that person needs to have something that can occupy their time aside from you, aside from like something else that distracts you and whatnot. I get that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And people could crack the joke. It's like, oh, well, you're supposed to fuck your woman and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, listen, like, let's have this honestly. A quick fuck, 5 minutes, a big, long Olympic sex romp, a few hours all night because you're hanging out and talking champagne, the whole 9 yards.
That's something to point out, though.
That's part of the relationship. That is not, you cannot fill all of her time with that. And let's face it, men have larger sex drives than women. You're not always going, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Like
I get it.
Yeah. And BG says you make a sad hobby. Well, now you can say that. But it was always like, I don't know. Tell me something. You're always coming up with something interesting to say. You've always got blah, blah, blah. And it's like, listen, I'm curious about the world and end up finding out about stuff. Why can't you? Go find out what nautical twilight is. I did.
Well, Polly, the joy of this is that I don't have to go looking up obscure random nonsense because I have you for that. You just tell me about it anyway.
Yeah. So Chad, I explained to Weebo the other night what the difference between astronomical, nautical, and civil twilight is, because I just found out the night before myself, and I'm like, look, this is interesting.
Yeah, and then there was like a whole 45-minute discussion of how he came to that question in the first place.
Well, you know what? It's fun. Now that was very womanly. Okay. I simply explained what it was, and I said, here it is, and it's the degrees of incidence of the sun rays. She asked how I came to this and then wanted the explanation in detail of my thought process that led to this. So I gave it. Now she relates the story, and it's like I forced it upon her or something.
No, I didn't say that you forced it upon me. I did ask, and it's not the woman in me that asked, it's the psychologist in me that asked, because I am interested in like the thought process behind what motivates people to look into something, because a big part of the reason why it is that like I'm interested in people is their motivations and how it is they come to conclusions and how they're different from other people in the same scenario and whatnot. And like the differences, the multitude of differences in people's perspectives and motivations and everything about them is just so intriguing to me, because there's so many different complex combinations that you can come across. It's just, that's why I majored in psychology and computer science. All right. Sorry.
No, that actually no, fuck that. That actually that makes a lot of sense. That makes sense. Okay, so a bunch of things are going. Okay, some people said some shit in chat. There's like Lion Patriot says, what of your stamp collection, Polly? I can't think of anything more boring than collecting stamps. God bless the people who get interest and excitement out of doing it. I can't think of anything more boring, frankly, than collecting stamps.
What about spoons? I collect spoons. But like, they're from different parts of the world.
Are these not more souvenirs? I thought that was the idea. Like,
Yeah, so I grab a spoon whenever it is that I visit a different like location in the world. So I
Yeah,
have a
that's not.
Paris spoon. I have a
You don't have a room full of spoons that
no,
are.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
It's a very small collection thus far. It's pitiful actually,
yeah, and it's.
but it's like a thing.
Vexor says anything sex under an hour is what I call foreplay. Well, there it is then.
Go you, Thelasaur the Bearded. You know what? You are a real trooper, a true man of the people.
Of all of the people, I'll not make a joke out of that. Sadistic atheist is like, I thought the same about my ex-wife, right up until she slept with the milkman. Yeah, you don't want to be, it's a delicate balance I'm suggesting here where she's interested enough, but not. If she's finding hobbies in other men's dicks, yeah, you're doing something wrong. No question. No question.
No. The hobbies are things like knitting, all right, or making jewelry, or what do women do for fun?
You're one. What do you mean? What do you ask?
But I'm not a real. I'm not a typical woman.
I'm not a real woman. Okay.
Like my idea of fun is coding a freaking website because I want to learn something new and pad my resume a little bit, or collect a whole bunch of like incriminating clips from thought twitches. No, fuck Twitch thoughts. Because I want to make a Thought Patrol video about that. Excuse me. I'm different. I'm not like those other girls.
So find a girl with autism and you're golden. I don't get the connection, I gotta say. You mean somebody who's going to get extremely fixated on something and leave you alone? Like autism, like that kind of thing? No. There's plenty of bright women out there. I think being online and seeing all the e-thoughts who are like these flighty, vapid, greedy whores have distorted people's impressions of the extreme range of women that are available out there in the world. I've met all kinds of different fucking women, and I've been more compatible with some than others, and we all are. I just think if you spend too much guys, go outside from time to time, man. If you start to get this impression that all women are e-thoughts, you start running down that incel route. Don't do it. It's not mentally healthy. There's all sorts of fucking women out there, and they're trying to find you as much as you're trying to find them. Believe it.
I've seen the articles. I know for a fact that there are lonely women out there that can't find a good man that they want to be with.
Yes.
They are lonely, and they are blaming it all on the men because...
Well, society, fashion magazines, if you're lonely and you're feeling it and it's painful, you're going to start trying to come up with explanations as to why it is.
It's not me.
Yeah, but that's you were talking about psychology a second ago. Very natural, right? Very human thing to do. There's got to be some reason I'm stuck in this fucking spot. What the hell? Yeah, and there's lots of women who feel similarly. The goal is to go out there and fucking try, not give your money to Invader V. You know what Invader V's name was before Invader V?
What was it?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Wait. On Twitch too? Or is that like, because I knew that was the thing on Twitter. Was it the case on Twitch as well?
I thought from what I had seen, you might have me on that, like that it was just on, I thought her original handle on Twitch was Tyrannosaurus Rex as well. Like meaning like her thighs, because she's always wearing like the short waifu skirt. It's so okay. So Space Cadet Jones took us way off topic here. A ways back, we were talking about Invader V.
Space Cadet Jones. That's going on a t-shirt too.
Well, people say scatterbrained, and you've ever heard Space Cadet before as a nice way to say it? Someone's a little scatterbrained. I call myself a Space Cadet.
I've never heard that before, but you know what? If we're accusing people of being a Space Cadet, Polly, you take the cake. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah. Space Cadet Dub and Space Cadet Jones prepared for duty.
We should commission Far to make Space Cadet Otter and Weebo avatar things.
With the fishbowl old-timey helmets on, like with dizzy looks on our faces that were like Space Cadet. Yeah. Are you writing an additional note now?
I am. I'm double underlining it too because it's super important that we get this message across.
What are you trying to say? Our streams are disorganized and a little schizophrenic?
A little bit.
Possibly slightly scatterbrained?
That's half the fun.
Actually, Richard Art is right there. Yeah. Hey, I'm right here.
Yes, Rich, would you like to take on this mantle? By all means, you have my blessing. Polly, does he have your blessing as well?
Oh, I've seen. If you guys haven't seen Rich's art, he does a really great job. We know so many talented artists. There's Far, there's Richard Art, there's Grisella. There's so many talented people around. And instead,
you forgot the next 6 minutes.
Next 6 minutes. And who does Marvel and DC hire? A bunch of people who check PC.
These other bitches lists over here that we don't care about.
Talentless fucking hacks who just happen to be a LGBT POC LMNOP person. Like it.
No, you got most of the alphabet in there. Nice job.
So anyway, we were talking about Invader V.
Tyrannosaurus Rex herself.
Yeah. So watching Deadwing Dork's stream, and he's showing the clips from your archive channel. The amount of time that this 30-year-old woman spends talking like a ditzy 12-year-old animu girl stereotype.
That's half the appeal, though. You know that, right?
With her finger up on her lip going, tee-hee, I am me. Like, you infuriate me to look at you. It is so transparent what you're doing. And to get angry, it's like that clip of her saying, oh, if you don't have money to give me, and you're saying stuff about that, what was her line? You're a bunch of 12-year-olds quietly masturbating so your parents don't hear you in the other room. Like,
yeah.
Oh, fuck you, bitch. And the thing that makes me the most angry is my cynical view of the world takes over. This is an opportunist woman who knows exactly how to appeal to a given demographic and to a given certain man, especially with that bright fucking wide malicious fucking smile she got when she talked about there's a lot of engineers out there, dollar signs flicking in her fucking eyes. What's going to happen to her? Do you think that after the e-thought era is over, that's going to be the end of it? No. She's going to find some fucking engineer that she's going to talk cutesy to, who's going to fucking marry her, and she's going to spend the rest of her time spending all of his money because she's a talentless hack who knows how to do nothing other than flirt and placate a man's fantasy. And what do those women usually end up doing? Oh, divorcing the guy when she gets bored of playing a role and then go find somebody else. And then here's my income stream through the divorce settlement. Because what did she, again, on your archive channel, Weaves, what's she talking about? The only reason that people are saying this is hate against women. It's not against women because Chaos Eve streams, Farzusmi streams, games, Gamer Valine streams games, and there's no thighs. They're not sitting on a mound of cushions at 30 years old pretending to be a fucking 12-year-old girl appealing to a bunch of sick lolicon fuckery. You miserable fucking wretch of a human being.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Invader V, before she was a Twitch streamer, used to be a Disney princess?
Like in what, like how, like when,
like she used to be a Disney princess at like the Disney theme parks.
Oh Jesus! Oh, okay. I thought you meant like her shtick on her channel. She was literally
a Disney princess.
That makes so much psychological sense. It's not even. It's just what's to talk about. That makes all the sense in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That square peg fitting in square hole making sense. She walked around and knew how to I'm Snow White. I'm yeah.
I am composure, never break character. La, 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 la.
You know what? Deco's like, okay, that's a bit harsh, lol. Yeah, okay, you know what? Maybe in the impassionedness of it, it could be harsh, but I don't believe factually that it's wrong. We're talking about somebody who is so incredibly, to call her a two-face is to minimize it. It's like a quad face. You're actually stalking and using that word stalking, looking up the people that are donating to you through your fucking PayPal to find out how much money they make for what. I am still fascinated to know what the fuck she meant by that. For Deadwing Dork's joking suggestion was actually a joking suggestion that came to my mind. Are you filing away this information for later blackmail use?
Yeah. I think
because this is a
that was
married
what we came up with today together on Cocktail Hour before I posted my video too.
It's like there's no evidence of that, but you, with that wicked, malevolent, malicious smile across her face when she said it, I know you're all engineers. It's like, what? You don't want your girlfriend or wife to find out that you're giving money to some girl in a short skirt on the internet? Well, maybe you might want to donate to me more and we can have a better understanding of our ongoing relationship here. Or was she using Twitch as a dating service, or what? Like, I mean, there's so many possibilities, none of them good. The fuck is wrong with this woman? And just it's the smugness to say it out loud. It's one thing to think these things inside your head and be very Machiavellian in your approach strategically. Like, Deco, I hear you. There's no reason to be like overly harsh. But this particular woman, she doesn't even care to keep it inside her head. She's so smug with it, she just says it out loud. And I think that that's where my frustration with it comes from.
The deliberateness with which she actually put that out into the ether for everyone to hear, as if it wasn't like a big deal, as if it wasn't like grotesquely wrong to voice such a thing. Like,
keeping in mind, this is the same person living up to the worst stereotypes of a fucking gold digger while saying, oh, you're only attacking women. You are living up to the worst, ugliest stereotypes that are largely fictional of women, but you're actualizing them and then saying, don't hate on me just because I'm a woman. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Sorry, someone just sent me something in DMs, and it has to do with a certain Scooby and Company.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, fuck.
Sadistic atheist says, when her looks are gone, what will she do? I don't know, man. I was surprised to find out that she was 29, 30, whatever. I thought she was early 20s or whatever. She's going to be young and cute looking for some time. I guess a good question. What are you going to do by the time she's 40, 50, whatever, and her looks are actually gone? She will be married to some engineer that she found through stalking them online, I would wager. I don't know. You guys remember that episode of, for any of the Trek nerds in the audience, of TNG, The Perfect Mate, when Picard met that woman who was the perfect mate, the actress who went on to play Jean Grey in all the X-Men films? I forget her name, Femke, whatever.
I don't know. I'm not a nerd.
In any case,
give me 1 second. I'll be
the
back.
plot of it is that the woman is partially telepathic. That's fine, Weebo. Do you think she's partially telepathic and she can read the minds of the man in front of her, and she physically and trait-wise becomes what the man wants her to be? That's the nature of her species, to be like that. And thus they're highly prized because they make, of course, the perfect mate. That's what I was reminded of seeing this girl talk. It's like, oh, you guys are all into Animu. You like the cutesy girl. I can do that. And I can do that for money. And I'm willing to bet that she could be angry Dom. I'm willing to bet that she could be, demure, reticent, inexperienced girl. I could just, good God.
I have a question. So have you seen the articles of like conspiracy theories about Twitch thoughts on Twitch, right? And they're basically proposing that some of these women have culminated in themselves a group of people who are really into the like findom kink, which is shorthand for financial dominance.
Okay, now it's the whole pay piggy deal. Yeah,
pay piggy.
Yeah.
Could that be a possibility? That it's completely, well, not saying not like pure in intention, but like simply they're just feeding into this market of people who have said kink.
Easily possible. Sure. I thought about that myself, where it's the pay piggy thing as it plays itself out, as I understand it, is through DMs, particular videos. It's like, so you're being taken advantage of. You give a certain amount of money or whatever that's transferred to their Cash App, and then the person sends you a video in return that's degrading, saying that's not good enough. Is that all you could come up with? And thus the release involved in the kink, right? I thought about that along those lines, and it's like, yes, I know who you are. If you'd like to set up this DM relationship back and forth where we can do this, yeah, DM me.
I don't know, like, because I actually don't know anything about said relationships, but I would expect them to be in a more like one-on-one interpersonal like aspect, like not she versus like 2,000 other viewers, because then that kind of would, I expect, take away from the intimacy of the whole findom kink, right? Because you want to think you're special enough to have this special attention paid to you and your finances and whatnot.
Yes, I don't think you're wrong, but I mean, that's where it's okay. I see what you're saying. You're talking about she wasn't trying to find individual pay piggies that way. The entire atmosphere of her channel is playing into that en masse.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I've heard this speculation before. I don't know how much credence I give it because, like I said, it lacks the level of intimacy that you would expect to find out of, any kink.
I hear you there. It's so far outside my experience with like I don't get why you would support someone, why anyone would support someone like that at all. I get supporting creators that you like. I have, before I went completely broke, especially pre-COVID, I had $10 a month and I broke it up amongst different creators because I really bought into that idea of, it was a suggestion someone gave. Let's say you're giving $20 a month to somebody on Patreon. You shouldn't do it that way. What you should do is give $10 to that person, $2 to this person, two, right? If everybody did that, there would be a wider range of support for creators out there, and it would mitigate all of the adpocalypse fuckeries that go on. And if you want to give individually to somebody because you have that additional disposable income, hit them up on their Streamlabs, and you can, type notices and shit like that and say, keep up the good work, or bust their balls a little bit, because half of my Streamlabs are people going, fuck you, Polly. And it's a whole big bants thing, and then there's fun involved in that, and it's all for jokes and shit. Yeah, I get that. So when I had the $10 that it was broken up amongst 5 creators. It was like $2 over here, $3 there, $2 there, $2 there, and then I went broke, and then I went over to whatchamacallit, by the way, Subscribestar. I think people should split their stuff up between Subscribestar and Patreon personally. So I get that aspect of it. Somebody demanding money of you, I don't even understand that whole side of the game. I don't even, like, it actually eludes me. I start thinking extremely cynical usury things along the lines of blackmail and domination, like you were describing, because it's so far outside of it. I get wanting to hit you, Weebo, off with oh, Weebo, your content's great, here's $5, live streaming, whatever, the different gun channels that I like, whatever, you dig Sargon, here's $2 to your Patreon, or whatever the fuck the tiers are. That makes sense. This pay piggy shit, don't get it. How could you like someone talking to you like that? Where's the excitement?
I don't know. I like my fans just the way that they are, and I like when the relationship is switched, like when they are giving me shit as opposed to me giving them shit. I don't know.
Deco says, I smell communism.
If communism has a smell? Oh, yes.
No, because I'm talking about like taking the money and breaking it up amongst a bunch of creators. He's like, I smell communism. Except for the fact that these are all consumer products, and people are using their privately owned money to give it to whom they will for a service they like.
Yeah, we're not
that's funny though.
Your funds, all right? Let me just tell you, you guys are electing to give them to us at your own discretion, and we thank you very much for it.
The state owns the means of production, and they're doling them out individually.
That's funny. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's say we go until about 9 o'clock. So that gives us like what, 20 minutes?
Cool.
All right, cool. Should we open it up to question time or give it 5 more minutes?
People can ask questions whenever they damn well like.
All right, people, you heard the man, the otter, the legend. You can ask any goddamn question that you please. You go right ahead.
Layer from background.
BG.
I might be photoshopping.
Oh, you might be photoshopping?
I might be. I don't know. Maybe not.
BG says it's more fun when it's a two-way street. Zing us back. I don't have any like zingers prepared. Oh gosh, you put me on the spot right here. I'm just.
Oh, Ray says. I actually want to talk about what BG said right there. But Ray says, what is Polly starting his OnlyFans? You know what that just reminded me of? You know when Nesion has an OnlyFans?
Yes. Did you know
I didn't know that till a little while ago.
To OnlyFans.
Holy fuck, you desperate sad man.
Well, okay, it kind of makes sense because think about it, right? His YouTube channel is basically just bunk at this point. He's been kicked off of Patreon, and he can't get a normal person job because it's Onision.
A normal person job.
And he's been on YouTube for what, 10 years straight? He has no track record, no CV, no anything. The only job he could feasibly get is something in like the food service industry. But even then, people would see him immediately and be like, manager. This man, he is a detriment to society. Here is all of his track record of being a shitty human being. You should fire him post haste at this moment right now. Like, he's basically screwed himself out of like actually being a viable person to do anything in life, barring he gets some drastic plastic surgery everywhere on his face. Like, this man has no prospects, no feasible way out. OnlyFans is his only way out. And you know what he does with his OnlyFans? Okay.
I've seen the like people. I haven't seen the pictures, but I've heard people joking that it's like dildos inside of his underwear to make it look like he's got a huge dick. Is that right?
So from what I know, he takes the same software used to create like animated porn.
Okay.
3D porn for like certain porn websites.
That you certainly don't go to or know anything about.
And he makes it of like himself in weird situations, and he posts it on the OnlyFans for people to only have access to if they, subscribe to his OnlyFans.
Oof. Big oof. Oh yeah, I got fucking nothing.
Yeah, because like, what is he gonna do? He's dug himself a hole, and it's so deep that he can't actually feasibly climb out of it. So all he can do is keep digging until he reaches the other side of the crust, until he reaches China, and he comes out on the other side. He's nope.
Thexor asks, and I'm not really sure. Should you ask Polydub a question? You really, really... Oh, it's a play on words. Until I said it out loud, I didn't understand. You really, really otter. Not reading it out loud, I didn't see the pun. Boo! Next 6 minutes, ask Polly, what is self-publishing like for new comics? Self-publishing? Self-publishing has come a long, long way, man. It's just a question of what are you going to do with it afterwards. That is the biggest deal. Self-publishing books through Amazon, with self-publishing comics through all the printing presses and small publishing companies that are available is actually really straightforward in terms of getting the PDFs done and then getting it off to them, contacting them, asking what the requirements are. Do you have template pages? And they all do. Is really straightforward. The question is, what then? Like, do you want to sell it, or are you making it for yourself? Or so the actual publication is not the issue anymore. That's been so democratized, if you will, from making books to making comics to making graphic novels. It's been so democratized that the real question is distribution. There's the difficulty. Do you want to get into comic shops? Well, if you do, the direct market that was monopolized by Diamond distributors has completely collapsed on itself following COVID. It was a giant fucking house of cards anyway. So you need to start advertising online. That's half the reason that people do Indiegogo, is to get the money and the distribution all together in one shot at the beginning. And then now you just have to mail it out either yourself or through a fulfillment service. But publication isn't your concern if you're thinking along those lines, Six. It's distribution that is the real issue for independent producers, in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but that would be a general good place to start thinking from what I do know.
I know nothing of this. I just collect them.
BG says, you should strike back because that's what's funny. And I said I wanted to go back to that. I've had that go horribly wrong. I've busted balls on people in chat. Like, they said something to me, and then other people in chat are like, holy fuck, Paulie must be really drunk. He's gotten surly. And I'm like, no, I was telling a joke. Like, so it's a lot easier to tell jokes in chat and seem like you're kidding than when you're on the mic and you're like, crack a joke in return, because a lot of people aren't reading the original post that you're responding to. So it sounds like you're saying some really cruel shit out of nowhere. They don't realize it's Bancy. But if it's BG, everyone's going to know. There's certain characters out there that just, that's how they roll.
Ooh, good question from Race Jacobson. Weebo, any advice? What advice would you give to someone auditioning for side quests? Definitely a giant pair of tits is going to help you every single time. But in the event that you do not have a pair of tits, the best way to thrive once you've actually got the part is to be able to play off of and bant with people very well. Like, in-person chemistry with another person is very, very important. Like, Beardy and I had it, Gog and I had it. It was like, it was one of those things that made every episode really interesting. But the other thing that you need to do is you need to be funny. Like, you need to be able to make people laugh just on the cuff. So maybe prepare a few somethings, and don't get super nervous about it. Like, don't psych yourself out. That's very important too. This is coming from someone who's never taken an improv class in her life. Like, I took an acting class, but that was less improv and more trying to avoid getting run over by my teacher's automated wheelchair. Yeah, story of my life.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Shit. That's what he said. Send me money because I'm too famous to get a real job. He needs to be forcibly humbled and made to work in a soup kitchen somewhere. Sadistic atheist, did he actually say, quote, send me money because I'm too famous to get a real job, end quote? Holy fuck.
Wait. Are we talking about Onision still?
Yeah, I'm assuming. That's some rough fucking shit there. That's some Invader V level crazy honesty. You know what I mean?
Sadistic Atheist asks, do you stream on Twitch? I do not, although I do have a Twitch account just because I don't want anyone else to steal the name Weebo Jones. Not that I think they would, but I was there for when Andy Worski trademarked liberalists. Mm-hmm. I recognize the importance of, like, latching on to your trademarks and whatnot and your brand. Because even though this is a hobby, I still don't want some random Weebo person out there besmirching my good name.
Besmirch.
Exactly.
Because, okay, word. People don't use that word enough.
Don't realize this, but Weeaboo Jones is apparently, like, a thing in some circles. Like, there's a streaming website, I think it's called Chatterbait or whatever, and there's this
streaming site, I think it's called Chatterbait or whatever, and now she's laughing. Nobody bought it, Weebo. Nobody.
I'm a sweet, innocent child of the Lord. Anyway, so...
Okay, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt your false naivete there.
I'm trying to tell a story, all right? You're not helping me build the... Anyway, so there's this website called Chatterbait.
No. She's not bright red. The hue. This one is hue.
Polly. And on this website, There is I think her name's like Melanie or something. She is an anime VFX representation of like a person in a full body suit, but they're an anime character and they're just acting out shit live for people. And people started sending me messages or like pictures of the chat log, and there was someone in there called Weebo Jones, and they're like, I didn't know you were on Chatterbait. So yeah, it's very important. Even like slight misspellings of my name apparently get me in trouble. Project Melody, thank you, Lord Famine.
Oh right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You heard about this?
Now that you've mentioned the name, yeah. I don't. So okay, on the Onision thing again. Okay, this man at one point owned 3 houses, meaning he didn't have complete ownership. He had mortgages of 3 houses, right, that he was paying into. He had 2 cars and the other things that people list off. I don't know all of his assets, but lots of stuff. But one of the things that he had was houses, real estate. So he's got equity in those homes that he's paying into. One of the smartest lines that your boy Zach Richard Meyer from the Comics Matter channel said, it's a short ride, save money. You know, and say Onision seemed to be on that trip, right? Where he's smart enough, like I'm putting my money, not having it disappear down a rent hole, but into equity in a home by virtue of a mortgage. So when I sell the home, unless the bottom has fallen out of the real estate market, it's going to be more valuable than when I bought it, plus all of the equity that I was putting into it month after month, except for the fact that the guy has $650, I think it was $1,000 in unpaid taxes. Motherfucker. How the fuck do you get that high in unpaid taxes and blame it all on the tax software you were using?
Oh, honey, you don't know the story, do you? Like, did you ever look into it? Because
I saw a clip of him saying, like, blaming it on his tax software. That's all I know. Where he's like, and he was claiming every fucking thing that if he had just looked up your basic, like every state has a basic manual, federal government has a basic manual, what can be included and what can't for personal business or for small private businesses. And he just included all sorts of shit and didn't even pay any attention to it. Is that the right story?
So yeah, he was overclaiming things on his tax website that were like deductions from the overall payments that he would be making to the federal government. Everything from like PlayStations to Xboxes to pool tables to his wedding freaking ring to Lanybot at the time, which she was called, but now it's Cool Guy Kai. So like everything, because his logic and reasoning was, hey, it showed up in a video with this one time, so obviously it's definitely included in tax deductions for my business and whatnot, so I don't have to pay taxes on this or whatnot. Yeah. And it was to such an extent that it's like several hundreds of thousands of dollars later, and he is that much in it to the IRS.
I mean, like,
at that point, you just get an accountant. Am I right? I think
you certainly sound right. Yes. When it's getting that complex, where it's like, look, here's all of this money. This is way pre first adpocalypse. So his CPMs are massive. He's getting 1 million+ views on every single video, and he's putting up 3 or 4 videos across 5 channels every fucking day. So just making a fucking mint, this guy. And he's got the intelligence seemingly to be dumping it into real estate, not buying, like, you know, making it rain in clubs and shit, you know, like just blowing money on dumb shit. Okay. But you were stupid enough to try and run your own tax software and claiming everything through guesses as to what's allowed and not. Why didn't you just hire like, we're talking a run-of-the-mill accountant, not some super hyper corporate guy, just a run-of-the-mill accountant to double check everything? I double check, single check
things. I get an accountant. That's just me.
Blows my mind he found himself in this fucking spot.
I have 2 accountants specifically, so I know what it is the fuck I'm doing.
I have 2 accountants.
I have 2 accountants. It's not my fault, all right? They were just thrust upon me.
brilliant people don't find accountants. They have accountants thrust upon them.
And they're like, Weebo, you are ignorant of the world and money. So we need to give you not just one, but 2 accountants. So here you go. And you owe us $100 every year for tax purposes.
Right? And like a sadistic atheist is like, save money. Oh, and pay your taxes. Right? There's the necessary inclusion at the end. It's a short trip, save money. And pay your taxes. For God's sake, man. And there's the other thing. There are lots of fucking ways to avoid, not avoid paying taxes, but avoid paying taxes, like meaning structure your life in such a way that your car is not your personal property. You do have to drive around for your business, so it's technically owned by your business. They all sorts of ways. Instead, this guy just lists everything in his life as a business expense and assumes that it's all good. Really? Like, I'm not saying go as far as a Hollywood actor and hide all your money offshore while you're claiming that everybody should be living a socialist lifestyle, you miserable, hypocritical fucks. But
rough.
Why am I wrong?
No.
Weebo. If anyone, nobody can do it but you. The Panama Papers. You gotta.
The Panama Papers.
I believe I believe Panama Papers. I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. The right word might pop into my head. It's like forgetting about the Jean Grey actress's name. So I'm going to say 2013, 2014, somewhere in that range. Documents revealed. Here's a list of a whole bunch of hedge fund managers and celebrities and Hollywood actors and everybody else that is hiding all of their income offshore so they don't have to pay taxes on it. And it's like, you miserable, hypocritical bastards. In the wealthiest nation in the world, we should be able to provide affordable health care for every refugee migrant seeking a better lifestyle, blah, 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 blah. Well, you live up in the Hollywood Hills in a multi-million-dollar mansion because you're not paying fucking taxes on anything because you hid all your money offshore, and then demand that everybody who's working minimum wage should be having to pay huge taxes to be able to, the 1%, the evil 1%. Yeah, the evil 1%, like you, who have lawyers who make it their literal fill their entire adult lifetime with figuring out ways to hide hypocrites' money.
I don't know about this.
Just saying.
This is why I have 2 accountants.
Charlie Rogers says, I wish I died in 2012. Wait, what? Why?
Oh, that was supposed to be when the end of the world was.
Like December 21st, 2012, and you wanted to die then?
I guess. I don't know. You know,
it's weird.
At least, you know, people aren't getting Molotov cocktails into 2020 in 2012.
Oh, I get it. It's a reference off of 2013 never happened. We all died in 2012. Okay. Yeah,
and it's just constantly been going downhill ever since then. I don't know. My life is pretty good right now. I'm not, well, I always complain, but like in actuality, I wouldn't say that I have it that bad. I'm pretty good.
BG, did you see the former NBA reporter that was egging on the riots then turned 180 degrees, calling them animals when they threatened his neighborhood? No, I did not. And I find that completely unsurprising. Like, hey, we don't do a lot of link. Actually, I do want to link to that. Did you the politics of news entertainers and people telling you how you should run your life? Politicians are responsible, at least in theory, through the voting booth, right? Celebrities get to tell you how to run your life, and there's no accountability there, especially news entertainers, so-called journalists. Zero fucking accountability there. Nobody holds them accountable. They just change the story and spin a different tale the next day. CNN is egging on the riots by referring to them as peaceful protests. Ali Velshi from MSNBC, who should absolutely become a meme, is standing in front of a building that's a raging inferno, smoke and flames pouring out of it, people running behind him with 2x4s and shit in the middle of a fucking violent riot. And there's Ali Velshi on MSNBC saying, most of what we're seeing is peaceful protests. Nothing to see here. It was mind-blowing. CNN is pushing this thing about that these are peaceful protests. It's just about all of the racial injustice. In the era of Trump, you had to expect that this was going to happen. Rioters rush CNN headquarters in Atlanta, destroy the whole front of the building. So what's the story they spin? Well, this is happening because in the era of Trump, Donald Trump encouraged violence against the media. Wait a minute. Which the fuck is it, CNN? Are people following Donald Trump and everything he says? Or are they rebelling against Donald Trump because he's president? But both those things can't be true at the same time, but they can when you're a lying bullshit vulture in the news media who don't deserve the name journalist anymore. Everyone just needs to turn them off so something better can rise up. Like meaning, hey man, corporate news where we angle our coverage completely to one political demographic, that doesn't work anymore because people see it for what it is, news entertainment. And the View is, if you want to watch four catty people sit around and banter about current topics, you can either go hang out with your friends, watch The View. You don't need to tune on Fox, MSNBC, or CNN. News media is going to be the death of us all, guys. They stir up social anxieties. They stir up animosities. They poke and natural human inclinations towards things that people would be concerned about: wealth, racism, injustice, and they poke and pick and push away at these things to the point of national anxiety, all for the sake of selling fucking advertising time and turning themselves into celebrities, all while wrapping themselves up in the free press clause of the First Amendment, acting as if they personally define what the Constitution was referring to.
Mood.
Well, yeah, I'm not very happy with them. If people were far more critical of them, where things, we would be a lot better off.
Yeah, probably. Polly, guess what?
Tim Pool covered it in a video, but it was Chris Palmer NBA on Twitter.
Yeah.
We are out of time. I think Weebo's about to tell me.
That was what I was gonna say. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I know it's a right shame, isn't it?
Well, I enjoy talking to you and reading chat and so forth. So yeah, it is a right shame, but it's all good. We will be back again next week, same time, same place.
Yeet. All right, and that means that I get to do the outro for the first time ever. It's going to be actually accurate. Thank you to everyone who decided to show up for the stream. We love you so much. You guys are our lifeblood and whatnot, and we greatly appreciate the amount of time that you guys spend listening to our silly voices live on air every Sunday at 7 p.m. CST with the two of us. And then also thank you to you guys who commented, who was in the chat, who liked, who shared, who subscribed to both myself and Polly. We greatly appreciate it. And to those who donated, also thank you so much. You guys are our sponsors, basically. We can't do this without you. And you guys make it so much nicer than if we were to have to shell out to like Cheerios or whatever. It would be so unfortunate because I don't even like Cheerios. It's disgusting. Anyway. Thank you to those who are going to be listening in the future and commenting in the future. We greatly appreciate you just as much as well. And the rest of y'all, fuck y'all. I'm just kidding. I hope you guys find us someday.
That took a really weird turn. Okay.
No, because I was talking to everyone who doesn't care enough to show up for any part of this at any juncture. I'm just kidding. 10,000 of you almost, and what we get south of 1,000. Come on, guys. Come on.
$5. Come on, it's not
$5. I'm just kidding. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I know Polly does too. So.
I do. It's true.
The fact that even 27 people want to actually hear me speak to Polly is just astounding to me. What else? Oh yes, we will be here same time, same place next week. Same otter, same Weebo face. Ow. Enjoy the rest of your guys' week and enjoy the rest of the content coming out on both of our channels. Polly, do you have anything that you want to show?
Not specifically. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up on my channel, but you'll see it. You'll see it happen. And I mean, there's Noir Bar that's going on an occasional fun basis, and then comic book curation is happening this Wednesday. I will be putting out some new videos throughout the week. I do have that next chapter of American Psycho live read because I just really love Ellis's writing. Bret Easton Ellis's writing. So I did another chapter live read from American Psycho, and then I'm going to be doing some more C.S. Lewis. But then I have my complaint videos, and I have my top 5 guns desired by a broke grad student video coming up. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. So yeah, just go check out my channel generally.
Yee! All right. On that note, guys, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully no one gets Molotov cocktail in the meantime. You know. Yeah. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.